says you're recording, Tom.
Yeah, I think I just got it going here. Okay, you can see the screen. A couple of things I just wanted to share to get the ball rolling. And, you know, I know Aja's here, and I'm going to let her take the ball and run with a lot of the finer points to this. But I know a couple of the questions that popped up revolved around how the weeks are structured on the master schedule. And I wanted to use the production planning report to show how we organize weeks. That within Maid Central, we schedule on a 4-week rotation. So every week, you know, we go week 1, 2, 3, 4, week 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see that on the revenue production planning report. So what is the day? The 26th. So you see where this says 3-35. And this is under the column week. So this is the 35th week of this year, but it's the 3rd week in the 4-week rotation. So if I go all the way back here, like this Saturday is 331 and change. That's a 3. If I go to this Saturday, it's 331.37, right? You see the dollar amounts are the same. That's because it's the same Saturday. It's just 4 weeks out. Okay. Any questions on the 4-week scheduling rotation? Cool. I'm gonna go to the master schedule. Each one of these bars here represents a team. Underneath the team, we have the 4 weeks within the 4-week scheduling rotation. There's 13 of those you know, scheduling periods, if you will, of the course of a year. But it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 13 times over. We put weeks 1 and 3 together and weeks 2 and 4 together because when you're scheduling bi-weekly customers, every other week customers, they either go on even weeks or odd weeks. So if I've got a weekly customer, and every other week customer that's scheduled to go on this Monday here, which is week 1, that same customer would be going on Monday on week 3. You can see it easily here. Like here on team 2, I've got weeks 2 and 4 together. This is a bi-weekly customer that's going on the 2nd and the 4th week, starting at 9 o'clock, getting done at, I don't know, close to 1, I guess. Oops. You know, 1:30. Likewise, there's a hole right here, which means that we could schedule another bi-weekly customer here going on weeks 1 and 3 for team number 2. So we've had some people ask about various calendar views, and I know that it's nice to be able to see kind of like a monthly view of the work you have. Well, in essence, this is it. Now, the jobs that we're showing here are only recurring jobs, because for the most part, if we're looking at a monthly view, what we really are trying to do is to figure out where am I going to be able to schedule that new every other week customer or that new weekly customer. And this is like a monthly calendar on steroids, because this makes it really easy to see where the every other week holes are. A couple of other things that this is really useful for is to determine if there are any conflicts. If you look down here at the bottom, these numbers are kind of small. I'll blow this up a little bit just to make it easier to see on the screen. This first digit here is the number of jobs scheduled on that day for that team. Second number is the allowed hours. And the third number is the number of conflicts. And conflicts mean if you've got jobs that are overlapping. So here at the moment, we don't really have any conflicts, anything here, because this is test data, set it up that way. But if I want to, say, take this job here and change the start time to, I don't know, say 12 o'clock, and do that for all future jobs and save it. See how it moves up there and those are overlapping? You see up here, it says I've got 2 conflicts, and one is on week 2 and the other's on week 4. I can click on either this hyperlink here or this hyperlink here, and it'll actually show me where the conflicts are. So if I want to fix that, there's a couple of ways I can do it. I can just go ahead and double click on this guy again and push it back down to, say, 2 o'clock and update that for all future jobs. And I've made my conflict go away. Another thing that we use this for that we find to be very useful is looking for service sets that do not have their defaults set. Because a good scheduling practice would be you want every recurring service set to have a default team and a default time. I took a job and basically removed the team that it was assigned to. So it creates this new team that's called schedule. So if you're looking at your master schedule and you've got jobs or service sets rather that are showing up over here, then, because that's what you really need to be thinking about. Each one of these blocks here, you need to be thinking of them as a recurring service set.
Ouch.
The ones this length are every other week recurring service sets. If it goes all the way across, it's a weekly recurring service set. Or if it only covers 1 week, it's every 4-week recurring service set. But if you've got a recurring service set that shows up under not scheduled, that means it does not have its defaults set. And you should be striving to have all your recurring service sets with the default team and default time. So if you see that, you can just click on it and say, well, gee, I need to assign this to a team. So I'm going to go ahead and assign it back to team 1 and update that for all future jobs and save. And I fix it. So, you know, just at a high level, it's an easy way to schedule, find holes to put your recurring clients. These different colors are different zones. So if you got a new client, you would want to try to match them up the best you can to the color. And be looking for recurring service sets that are in the not scheduled, so you can get the default set. How about that, Aja? You impressed I know that much?
Yay!
Yay, Tom. What are the details here? What are some of the finer points that that we want to talk about?
I mean, what are people's questions?
Yeah. Anybody?
Okay. Can you guys hear me? I think you kind of answered one of ours. We were kind of like, why are the weeks out of order? But like that kind of makes sense. Like week 1 and 3 are kind of related weeks, and week 2 and 4 are kind of related weeks. We were like, why are they? Well, they're disjointed. So that makes sense. I think my team is on here too, kind of watching, and that makes sense. Does it make sense to kind of use this so that the color coding is the zones that you created, correct? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So you can kind of visually do that as well. And then what does it show you whether it's you can see whether it's a biweekly or monthly. How again? How does
Look
it?
at the bar. You see, that's the beauty. I mean, this is the genius of putting the odd weeks and the even weeks together. On team 2, it goes across all 4 weeks. So that's a weekly, right?
Oh,
Right.
God. Yeah.
Right.
Here, this only goes, here's a bar that covers weeks 2 and 4. So that is an every other week recurring service set that goes on the even weeks.
Okay.
Here's a recurring every other week service set that goes on the odd weeks for team 4. So I showed the revenue production planning report because one of the things you want to get used to thinking about is what week are we in? Week 1, 2, 3, 4. We are currently in week 3. This is an odd week, and it's week 3. So what you'll find, you've got recurring, because the other thing that you want to do is balance your revenue out from one week to the next. And one of the things that we've done recently with this revenue production planning report is we've given us the ability to group by week if we choose to. You can also do it by month and go back for a longer period of time. But for planning purposes, I can,
It's because you started at the beginning of the month, so that first Saturday only is the only day available on that week.
I got you. But you know what we don't show is which week is this? Is this week 1, 2, 3, or 4? I didn't see that, but we want to show that. We're gonna add that.
Additionally, on the master schedule to see if it's bi-weekly, weekly, or monthly, it also has a letter at the first part of it, a
Oh.
W for weekly, a B for bi-weekly, and an M for monthly as well.
And then we have a few oddball customers that are, and my team could speak up if this is true or not, but I feel like we have some oddball customers that have like every 3-week rotations, which I don't want them to necessarily sell, but if it's going to lose a customer between a bi-weekly and a monthly, they just like will do it. But there's no way to load balance that. I get it, but how is that? Like, how is an oddball like client visualized on this? I know there's no way to fix it and load balance it exactly.
Well, when you say load balancing, that's kind of where I'm going back to here. That if I've got an every other week client, I mean, this is an odd week, this is an even week, this is an odd week, this is an even week. It looks like it's fairly well balanced because it's test data, but a lot of times you're looking at real data, or you might find that your first and your third weeks are a lot lighter than your second and your fourth. So you would be going back over here saying that you want to get bi-weeklies and every 4 weeks off of the even weeks and onto the odd weeks to balance that out.
Tom, if you change one of those, like that tester person, to an every 3-week option, how do they show up on here?
Ah,
It'd have to be at the service set level, but
I don't know if it does. So I'd have to go down here and create a new rate log.
No, just hit updates. Just go back to information and hit update service set info. And then change it to, I think you go back to the information tab.
The way that you would want to do it, though, would be to change the rate log, because the presumption would be you'd be charging a different amount.
Okay, that's fine.
So what are we charging before? 210. So I don't remember what we had for allowed hours. Okay.
and then
And then just
probably
go to
the
our
schedule
jobs,
and jobs.
tab. Yeah,
and modify her schedule. Yellow button there.
This is way too much work. I'm getting tired.
Welcome to the party.
Okay. So here we are. It says every 3 weeks. So
Just modify schedule and see what happens. There it goes. Thank you.
Looking at master on Wednesdays.
So the 26th and then the 16th. So
okay. And who was this? Sally Tester?
probably have to refresh the screen.
Yeah, refresh and look at Wednesdays.
So she's not in that 3-week schedule on either one. On so
Well, she's still
What day of the week are we looking at? Sorry.
well, it's not really day of the week.
Scroll up. You're looking at Mondays, so you want to look at Wednesdays because you scheduled her on Wednesdays.
Oh yeah.
So she is showing up on team 2, I think. Oh no, it's a different testing. Nope.
So every 3-week customers. It's rare enough for us that it's not a big deal, but it doesn't look like they make that calendar.
Wednesday.
Although you don't have a time on there, it looks like there's no time locked on.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay, never mind.
And what's the default team? Team 2. So it would be on this team. I don't think
that testing.
you see, every 3 week wouldn't fit here because
I was just wondering, and that's fine. Just for us, for our knowledge,
right.
we know we probably have, again, out of close to 700 clients at our max, we probably only had like 6. This is not something I want to spend a lot of time on. I just wanted to see how it looked. So that's fine.
I think it's good to know just how it shows up and that they don't show up so it doesn't mess with your
One-time jobs don't show up here either.
Yeah, you just almost have to just treat them as some sort of like alien, basically. They're basically a
they're on demand.
Other recurring.
Okay, that's fine. That's kind of how I'll treat that when I'm talking through that with my team. That makes sense.
I have a question. I guess it's the second team over on the screen. It says, is it B. Parton? I guess it says twice. I have that happening on my screen because I have 2 clients, in my system on a different day. I have 2 clients that both have the last name of Rambo, but they have different first names, obviously. They're different people, but on the master schedule, it keeps showing up that it's just one of them. The time showed different, so it's reflective of the fact that it's a different job. I'm just wondering, is it cutting off and maybe just getting Rambo and it's not getting any more information with regard to the name? I don't know.
No.
I see that happening.
So the B is for bi-weekly. It's not for the initial. So the 2 jobs should be different. If you hover over them, you should have a different first name, different address, all of that there, but only the last name shows up on the master schedule.
Got it. That makes sense. Thank you.
I had the same thing happen to me. It's okay.
I have another question. Tom, I think you just explained this, but I'm just not. So in the bottom underneath of each day and each technician for their week 1 and then month, whatever day it is, the 3 little boxes down the bottom on your first one, it says 2, I think it's 5.75 and 1. So 2 is what? But
Number of jobs,
okay. And
number of hours, and
Okay.
number of conflicts.
Gotcha. And that's for each week.
Each week and
Got
each team, yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's interesting here though, because I only see 1 job here. So
There's probably one hiding behind that weekly. If you reschedule the time on that weekly, I bet one's gonna pop out on that other rotation.
Yeah, that's a dangerous thing that they can overlap each other. This is there's probably needs to be that they do some sort of like visualization differently, because that is something that is kind of scary that jobs can hide.
yeah.
Well, that's why they added the conflict so that you could find jobs that you have scheduled at the same time, same team.
Well, then we should put this on the job schedule on the main page too. So if there's any conflicts, that it would show you that too. I don't know. I mean, I don't use it enough every day, but jobs can get buried underneath each other on that schedule as well. So we probably should have a conflict flag.
Which schedule?
Can't on the main job schedule, can't jobs get buried underneath each other there?
No, they stack.
No, they just stack.
Yeah, they go.
Katie, if you're on, can you refresh my memory? Maybe that's an old problem, but we have seen that before, correct? I don't know.
That's
I know.
been that way as long as I can remember. That was kind of a design choice that we allow to schedule 2 jobs in the same time frame.
Okay. We have, and it's a rare thing, we have had jobs underneath each other before, but I think it was probably just a bug then, because it hasn't happened in a long time, and my team can correct me later if I'm wrong on this. But that's fine. I'm glad. I don't want to take any more time on that then.
I do find it odd here that it shows 1 to 3 on the dashboard, but this
At 5 to
shows
6.
5 to 6:30.
Yeah, I submitted a bug for that last Friday when we did after the build because we noticed that. So we've got a ticket with development.
But
Is anybody else jumping on the screen when you like scroll down to like, I guess like you 4 across the top and then so you get into like the second row of technicians? When you go down there and you go over top actual job to see the details of it, my screen keeps jumping up and down like I can't actually view it. It's fine on the first row and it doesn't happen on every day either.
Mine has been doing that on customer pages, like on their customer page. If I try to hover over a job on the calendar in the bottom left corner, occasionally mine will jump up and down.
Okay.
Mine will do
Smaller
that.
size than
Yeah.
window,
When
doesn't
I'm
it?
looking at the GPS, it flickers, especially after I've looked at more than 1 or 2. It flickers back and forth, and I can't look at it.
You can't zoom in on it. Yeah.
Hey, if that happens again, can y'all shoot a Loom video and shoot it over to Intercom?
Sure.
That'd be awesome.
For the record, I just want to say, like, this tool is amazing. I'm so glad that I don't have to do this on paper anymore. I love this.
I love this master schedule too. Love it.
Yeah, I didn't quite get it at first, but now this is helpful. Just the understanding the ideas behind it, especially the conflicts being.
It's fact. Yeah, super amazing.
so in terms of like a monthly calendar view, at least my experience, when I'm trying to find a place to put a recurring customer, that's where I want to be able to see all 4 weeks for all of my teams to figure out which team, and I'm looking for a hole. I mean, we first started this business, we had these big magnet boards, and we had a board for each day of the week, and we had week 1, 2, and 3, 4 on the boards. And if you were a weekly customer, we would make 4 magnets for you, and you get a magnet on all 4 weeks on a particular team on a particular day. Or if you were bi-weekly, you had 2 magnets. Or if you were a monthly, which was every 4 weeks, you only had 1 magnet. And we did do some try, and those magnets never moved on the board, was the magic. The weeks would change, but the magnets would never move. Duplicating that, on a computer screen has always been difficult, but I think this is the closest thing I've seen in terms of being able to duplicate that type of ability on a computer screen.
I use this a lot with our, like when I'm setting the schedule for the next week, I always have the master schedule open with me at the same time, so that I can take care of any conflicts that are on the schedule and make those permanent changes, so that if I see something that doesn't make sense on the next week's schedule, I can immediately shift over to the master, see if they go there permanently or if somebody just is there on accident. And if it is permanently, then I'm changing that as I'm setting the schedule, and then I don't have to worry about it again. So like I've been doing that for probably the past 3 weeks pretty regularly, and most of it is like new clients that I just want to put into a new spot, but this way I can do it really quickly and really easily. I probably spend maybe an hour a week doing that and cleaning up our schedule.
You used to do this like in a really impressive spreadsheet, but do you still maintain that spreadsheet?
Nope, this has taken over that spreadsheet. The fact of being able to have this automatically already have everything in there, if somebody schedules books a new client, they're on here immediately. Nobody else has to go in and edit something, and if something's wrong with it, I'm still able to go through and fix it later because I do that, but I don't have to. Nobody else has to take extra time on it.
That's actually saying a lot, since I know how much you really love your spreadsheets, Aja.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little depressed by how much I don't have to take care of. Like, I'm mildly depressed by the number of spreadsheets that have been taken away from me in the best way possible. But again, my
That is
babies are gone. Like all the things, not having to go in there and like maintain that is just the weirdest feeling in the world for me.
That's hilarious.
Spreadsheets for Raja.
I can see myself too in that same experience, because I don't have to go back in and do it because it's already done once I schedule them. That is just so amazing. I love this.
Yeah, I'll have to share in another call, Aja, but I found a new way you can use spreadsheets. We've been exporting our customer data from Maid Central and using Nice Job, and we just started doing it yesterday, and we've gotten three Google reviews today. So I know that might be a good use of your Excel skills, your spreadsheet skills. So we've been very happy with that. So.
Well, there you go.
There's always a spreadsheet out there somewhere, Aja. Don't worry.
I'm trying, guys. I need inspiration.
Well, I think this was helpful. Is there any other thing we need to cover on this? I think I've got a much better grasp of this now. It's actually very simple, but it's just needed. I just needed kind of an overview of it. Does anyone else have questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, can you hear me?
I can. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Great. Yeah, I didn't think my sound was working. Good. I like the master schedule. I've been using it a lot. One thing that I'm wondering about, I think you touched on this, but maybe someone else could also give us some guidance. We don't currently use the production planning. We're not really thinking in terms of weeks. So for us, the master schedule is really easy to find a hole. Then when we go propose that to the client, we're trying to fumble over the best way to find when does the next cleaning start. So if we're putting it in week 1, what date are we offering to the client to say starting this date and then every 2 weeks from there? I don't know if there's a way to put it into the master schedule what the current next 4-week dates are.
The upcoming, as we're looking at a Wednesday. This is
go to a job schedule and we go match it with another client that's on that week, which is obviously a bit of a cumbersome process.
This is today, I guess, Wednesday, week 3. So I'm on Wednesday, so I know this is today. So week 4 would be, 17. So we could put, what is today, the 26th.
We have a calendar up that we have it all written down, weeks 1 through 4 in a rotation at the beginning of every week. So we use that. I didn't even think about that wasn't showing up in here.
Yeah.
Another system. It'd be awesome if we could just use one page to do everything.
It would be the closest future date for that week on that day. from moving from today forward. So I'm pointing at my screen. You can't see me doing it, but right here, it says Wednesday, week 3. This would be today.
Mhm.
And if I went to Thursday, week 3, this would be tomorrow, 2 days from now, so on and so forth.
So you thinking putting a date there, like 8/27, or just tomorrow? Because I think a date would be most helpful.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that would be a date, like right here for this week 3, right above it or below it or something. It would say 8/20/28, since it's the 26th and that's a Friday. That's what we're talking about, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to clarify, it wouldn't just be for the current week, right? It'd be for week 2 would have it, week
Yeah.
4 would have it.
Week 8/28, and I don't know what this is. This is 9, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is.
Well, the next week 4 would be next week, so it'd just be 9/4.
Yeah, 9/4.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so that'd be helpful if each week could have a date. At least with our process, we send an email out to propose the schedule to the client. And
Yeah.
it'd be really helpful to not need to leave the screen to do everything.
And this would be like 9/11, and this would be 9/18. So knowing that today is today, and all things being equal, if I had a hole to get that customer on the schedule sooner rather than later, that would give me a better idea where to do it.
Exactly. Thanks, Tom.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Okay. Is there any finer points to this that we want to mention?
No, not really. I think we covered everything. I think it's like, for a spreadsheet that took me so long to build, this is just so fantastic. Like, having it all so automatic and visual and usable for so many different people. I really like the conflicts thing. The only thing that bothers me about it is not being able to like mute a conflict, because we do a lot of rotational cleans. So one clean might be longer one week and shorter the other week, and we expect that the clean after it is not always going to be, will always overlap with one of those ones, and we just adjust it every time it comes around. But other than that, I really do like the new conflicts thing, and I really love being able to see how balanced the weeks are, because we've gotten really unbalanced.
Okay, that's a scenario I hadn't considered. So if you've got like a downstairs whole house and they go every week, but they're 2 different service sets with different times. They're 2 different service sets. So you really need to schedule that like it's a weekly, but it would show up here as 2 bi-weeklies.
Yeah, we also do it with monthlies too, or with bi-weeklies, so we'll have 2 monthly schedules. One of them's 4.5 hours, the other one's 2.5 hours. They both start at the same time, but the client after them, one time is going to start, at the end of the 2.5 hour time, and the other time is going to start an hour earlier after the short clean. And so like on the master schedule, what it looks like is you've got a big job and a little job, and then there's another job underneath it that almost always overlaps that big job a little bit, because it starts halfway between that time every time.
Yeah, we need to figure out, I mean, that's an exception rather than the rule, but it's still something that we would want to be able to handle. Okay, well, I guess that's called job security, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate it, Aja. I appreciate it, Tom. We will start cracking at this. I'm going to call my office right now and chat about this a little bit. Thanks, guys.
Have fun.
All right.
Okay, you guys take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.